Modern networks face a multitude of threats that are descending upon them from every conceivable angle. In 2023, organizations are justifiably most concerned about data breaches and ransomware. Both of these are significant threats, but by no means are they fast-growing, and anyone who's worked in InfoSec knows that data breaches and ransomware get plenty of attention. However, there is one threat that is fast-growing, does have the potential to outstrip today's concerns, and is almost universally ignored by leadership at most organizations. I speak about, of course, the Internet of Things and the growing botnet threat they represent. To enlighten you about how serious the IoT botnet threat is, consider a couple of recent reports. According to Nokia's annual Threat Intelligence Report, the number of IoT devices engaged in botnet-driven DDoS attacks rose from about 200,000 a year ago to approximately 1 million devices, generating more than 40% of all DDoS traffic in 2023. In another report, Gartner says by 2025, cyber attackers will have weaponized operational technology environments to successfully harm or kill humans. What is a botnet? Most people have heard of botnets, but before we go on, let's quickly break down what a botnet is. If you'd like to skip this section, see the chapters in the description to jump to any part you'd like. A botnet, most simply, is a network of devices infected by a specific malware wherein the malware operator controls the infected devices. The collection of infected, controlled devices is collectively known as a botnet. When a malicious actor decides to create a new botnet, they must first set up a command and control infrastructure, often just called CNC in InfoSec parlance, that will support their operation. Once CNC is established, the perpetrator will choose a time frame to unleash their malware, a campaign. The campaign and design of the malware will depend heavily on the malicious actor's goals, such as targeting a specific industry, government, company, or even specific types of devices, among many other targets. Once the attackers accomplish their goal, they often dismantle the CNC to cover their tracks. Some advanced threat actors will layer their infrastructure across service providers as well as geographically to foil attempts to thwart their attacks. Botnets are most commonly used to generate traffic for massive distributed denial of service attacks. Still, they can also be used to stage other malware or as storage for illegal data or a plethora of other things. Finally, botnets can also be rented in a dark version of software as a service, but for botnets. So botnets as a service, I guess? These services rely heavily on unmonitored and unmanaged IoT and smart devices to maintain large botnets that they can rent out to less tech-savvy criminals. Why is IoT so vulnerable? As everyone connects an increasing number of household appliances, smart cameras, AI HVAC controllers, and all the other connected unmanaged IoT devices, we present a new and tempting attack surface to those with ill intent. At one time, not long ago, attackers had to penetrate the advanced cyber defenses of a business that had been honed for decades. Now, they can leverage gaps in the security of products and appliances not previously considered, monitored, or protected in any way. Investigations by various cybersecurity researchers globally have identified a staggering number of these devices connected to botnets. According to Gartner, currently 40% of smart home appliances globally are being used in botnet attacks. With IoT, there are two primary attack vectors: that malicious actors can use to spread their malware and grow their botnets effectively. 1. Brute forcing weak login credentials or simply using the default password left on the vast majority of these connected systems. 2. Exploiting known software vulnerabilities. An astonishing number of these affect connected IoT and appliances. In 2022, Palo Alto Networks reported, from August to December of 2022, malicious actors made more than 134 million exploit attempts on IoT devices using a remote code execution flaw in the Realtek Jungle Software Development Kit. For context, they are referring to attacks against a single known vulnerability. Conclusion: IoT is a big deal. These unmonitored, unmanaged devices can potentially bring significant harm to any organization who decides to continue ignoring these risks. Even more concerning is the rapid growth of IoT, with the total install base of IoT devices worldwide expected to reach 30.9 billion by 2025. The risk these devices pose will only grow. The best way to get ahead of this threat is to tackle it as soon as possible. 1. Start by building a complete and accurate inventory of all connected devices, because you absolutely cannot secure what you don't know about. 2. Once you have a handle on what devices are on your network, determine precisely what vulnerabilities they represent. How many have default or easy-to-guess passwords? Are any of them already infected and calling out to malicious domains? How many are running known vulnerable services or software? We at IoT Secure know that these tasks are not simple, and that it would take an inordinate amount of time to even get an accurate inventory, and any person in charge of that task would be otherwise unavailable. Add to this the task of finding and fixing vulnerabilities alongside monitoring, and this problem grows to Herculean levels. IoT Secure's solutions are specifically designed to help you alleviate the risks your unmanaged IoT devices pose. Our solutions, which require minimal setup, will quickly identify all your network devices. As unmanaged IoT devices are detected, IoT Secure will check for and alert you of any vulnerabilities. Finally, we will monitor all these unmanaged devices for unexpected or malicious behavior and can alert on and block such traffic in real time. Learn more about IoT Secure solutions and request a free test using our IoT Mini at iotmini.io.